सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्।
ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
सर्वं तस्य उपव्याख्यानं भूतं भवत् भविष्यत् इति सर्वम् ओंकारम् एव यच्चान्यत् त्रिकालातीतं तद् अपि ओंकारम् एव।
Not omkaram, omkara only.
ओंकार एव सर्वं हि एतद् ब्रह्म अयम् आत्मा ब्रह्म सह अयम् आत्मा चतुष्पात्।
एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः।
We couldn't hear from the beginning. We couldn't hear from the beginning. Can you read from the beginning? Because it was not unmuted.
Okay.
Now read.
जागरितस्थानो बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः। स्वप्नस्थानः अन्धप्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः प्रविविक्तभुक् तैजसः द्वितीयः पादः।
Kaushik ji?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot to unmute. Yatra supto na kanchana kamam kamayate na kanchana swapnam pashyati tat susuptam susupta sthana eki bhutah susupta sthanah eki bhutah pragyana ganah eva anandamayah hi anandabhuk चेतो मुखः प्राज्ञः तृतीयः पादः। एषः सर्वेश्वर एषः।
Please every time the same mistake. We put the visarga so that it will know it. Everything is visarga. This is all masculine, so visarga.
Oh, I see. Okay. एषः सर्वेश्वरः एषः सर्वज्ञः एषः अन्तर्यामी एषः योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभव अप्ययौ हि भूतानां.
Prabhava apyayev. If you tell
प्रभव
Prabhava,
अप्ययौ हि भूतानां.
yes, bhutanam, yes.
बहिः प्रज्ञः विभुः विश्वः हि अन्तः प्रज्ञः तु तैजसः घनप्रज्ञः तथा प्राज्ञः एकः एव त्रिधा स्मृतः. दक्षिणाक्षिमुखे विश्व अन्तः मनसि
Viswaha.
विश्वः दक्षिण अक्षिमुखे विश्वः अन्तः मनसि तु तैजसः आकाशे.
Not anta manasi. Manasi antastu.
ओके मनसि ओके दक्षिण अक्षिमुखे विश्वः अन्तः मनसि
Not
तु
anta manasi.
अन्त मनसि ओनली.
No, manasi antastu. First mana, not first anta.
I didn't catch it, Swamiji.
First manasi, then antastu. Not antastu, then manasi. First manasi antastu.
Oh, manasi antah. Oh, yes. I don't know why did I get that. Okay. Dakshina akshimukhe visvaha manasi antah tu taijasah akashe radhi cha prajnah
Akase cha.
akase. I'm looking, Swamiji, at the sandhi, down also together. So then, okay.
But you have to read from the sloka.
Okay.
You have to see. You cannot read from the meaning.
Yes.
You have to refer before, then.
Okay. All right, Swamiji.
Akase cha.
दक्षिणाक्षिमुखे विश्वः मनसि अन्तः तु तैजसः आकाशे च हृदि प्राज्ञः त्रिधा देहे व्यवस्थितः.
Good.
विश्वो हि स्थूलभुक् नित्यं तैजसः प्रविविक्तभुक् आनन्दभुक् तथा प्राज्ञः त्रिधा भोगं निबोधता. स्थूलं तर्पयते विश्वं प्रविविक्तं तु तैजसम् आनन्दश्च तथा प्राज्ञं त्रिधा तृप्तिं निबोधता.
त्रिषु धामसु यत् भोज्यं भोक्तायश्च प्रकीर्तितः वेदैतदुभयं यस्तु स भुञ्जानो न लिप्यते. प्रभवः सर्वभावानां सदामिति विनिश्चयः सर्वं जनयति प्राणः चेतोंसून् पुरुषः पृथक्.
विभूतिं प्रसवं कन्ये मन्यन्ते सृष्टिचिन्तकाः चित्तकाः स्वप्नमाया स्वरूपेति स्वप्नमाया स्वरूपेति सृष्टिरन्ये विकल्पिता. इच्छा मात्रं प्रभो सृष्टिः इति सृष्टो विनिश्चिताः कालात् प्रसूतिं भूतानां मन्यन्ते कालचिन्तकाः.
भोगार्थं सृष्टिरित्यन्ये क्रीडार्थमिति चापरे देवस्यैष स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा.
Yes. So after that, there's a clarification regarding the negation of the three states, which is given in the 7th sloka. Negation not of 1, 2, 3 to tell regarding the fourth. It is negation of the falsity of the first, second, and third to tell regarding the fourth. Okay, the fourth is not something different. How the thought process started. that whenever we negate something, if we negate everything,
Then there is a zero.
then there is zero. That is Shunya is there. Then Bhagavan Shankara, that's the Purvapakshi told that if you, since Upanishad is using the language of na-anta prajna, na-bahis-prajna, na-ubhayata prajna, that means the Turiya is a not, is nothing. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya told, no, it is not so. What is being negated is the false, not the reality. When the reality is the adhara of the false, then the false has to be negated. Then the reality will be recognized. The adhara is recognized. Then the Purvavaki told, if adhara, I understand that Turiya is the adhara for the Antaprajna, Bahisprajna and Ubhayata Prajna, that I understand. I have no doubt regarding that. But whenever there is a adhara and adhaya, at that time we describe the adhara in a positive language. And he is giving the example of water and the pot. Pot is the adhara and water is the adhaya. There we tell, the pot is supporting the water. The pot is holding the water. We don't use any negative language there. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya told, no, that is not possible. Because in case of the pot and water example, both have the same degree of reality. The water is as real as the pot, and pot is as real as the water. They have the same degree of reality. Unlike the rope and snake. In case of rope and snake, so rope is real, snake is not real, so they don't have the same reality. Snake is false, rope is real. And why false means mithya? What is the definition of mithya, Sumaji? What is the definition of mithya?
It's an illusion.
No,
Yes.
that's the meaning of that English word for mithya, but what does it mean? What does it mean? Mithya means, what does it mean?
Mithya is unreal, which points to the real.
Anandji, what is mithya?
Nitya is seemingly real, Swamiji. It is not there, but then it is real. It is not unreal like it's not asat, like the horns of a rabbit.
Right.
But it is seemingly real. It is.
It is seen, but is not there. That is called mithya. Nitya is which is all the time there, which was, which is, and which shall be, without undergoing any change. That is called nitya. Nitya vastu, which is called eternal, which was, and how it was in the past, same way in the present, and it will remain the same way in the future too. That is nitya. There will be no absence of nitya at all. Then what is anitya? Which was not there, which is not there now, and which will not be there in the future. And second part doesn't arise. That there will be no change, that doesn't arise. It is not there at all. But when you come to the Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna, we cannot put them in the Nitya category. We cannot put them in the Anitya category. Why we cannot put them in the Nitya category? Minalji, can you tell why we cannot tell Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna they are not Nitya?
It's changing.
They are changing, yes, good. And then Vishwa was there in the only the waking state, but is not there in the dream state.
Right.
Then it is not then deep sleep state. So both the criteria, it is not fulfilling, so it is not nitya. Can we tell it as anitya?
No.
Why you cannot tell anitya?
Because it is still the the substratum is appeared in
No,
the
no, no, not the substratum, no. Why you cannot tell it Anitya Prakashji? The Vishwa means the waker. The Vishwa means the waker.
it is available only some period of time. It is not recall a time like Anitya. That is why there is no existence for it. Permanency to it.
Then it will be Anitya then.
Yeah, it is Anitya. That is why there is no existence.
No, it is not Anitya. Ajay?
Swamiji, it is Nitya because it appears to be seemingly real. It is not Anitya because it is not completely absent. It is seemingly real.
Yes, it is where able to experience that. Now in the waking state, I see different things. Who is seeing? The waker is seeing. Waker is experiencing. I cannot tell that waker is not there. I tell that, I saw my brother, I saw my sister, I saw my family, I saw the movie, I saw that that incident. I experienced sorrow, I experienced joy. So we cannot tell it is not there at all. We cannot tell it Anitya. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya he has coined another word, Mithya. That Mithya it is neither Nitya nor Anitya, but in between. It is there when we experience, but when we inquire, it is not there. It is there like laddu. Laddu is very much there when we are eating it, when we are seeing it. But if you try to analyze, laddu is not present, but laddu as sugar is present. So laddu is not present. So we have to put in the mithya category. It is a different category. But like previously we have discussed, this mithya word really brings little solace to us. Because this world, what the Vishwa is experiencing and Vishwa itself, if you tell that they are anitya, it creates a little fear in our mind. Everything is anitya, that means my family is anitya, my job is anitya, the world is anitya, I'm going every day to work in the job that is anitya. It creates little fear. I am not there. The body is not there. But I am there. So it creates fear if you tell that it is not there, and we respect our sages, we respect the scriptures. And scripture is telling our body is not there. It doesn't make any sense. Then Bhagavan told that, no, it is there. It is there. By telling that it is there, what is the benefit? Shivakumarji? By telling that the body is there, body is really not there, but it is the body is there. By telling that, what is the benefit?
Benefit is that you only through they offer us a dwara to reach the.
And then it provides a dwara. It provides a dwara to the real. That is good. That you remember that one. Or if that is not there, then inquiry will not start. Where to start the inquiry? Where to start from the body? Then only will reach the reality. Okay. So the Vishwa, Tejas and Pragya, they are in the category of mithya to tell that yes, they are available for experience. They are very much there, but an inquiry, they are not there. Okay? And that means they are the creation of mind. In the dream, we see everything, but actually it is not there. So it is like previously we have told, it is sugar-coated unreal. Mithya is sugar-coated unreal. A little nicer way of telling, like how the king, that soothsayer, or that soothsayer, yes, he told to the king saw a dream that all his family members are dead. In the dream he saw. Then he was very sad. He was very worried. Then he told the minister, please ask the soothsayers that what does it mean, this dream? Because he believes a lot of in the dream. He believes that something wrong is going to happen. So the best soothsayer they called, and the soothsayer told, O king, what this dream tells that the king will have a miserable life because all the family members will die. King will be alone. Then the king got so angry on the soothsayer, he put him in the jail. Then the next best soothsayer was called. And he read in the newspaper what happened to the first soothsayer, who is very famous. Then he told, O king, this dream is the best dream the king has seen. The king is going to rule the kingdom unrivaled. The same thing. Unrivaled, that way nobody to protest. There is nobody to create any problem for him. What the first one has told, the second one is telling the same thing. But the king rewarded the second one. How we tell? When you tell mithya, instead of telling anitya, mithya word goes better in the people's mind. People feel a little comfortable. Then they will do the inquiry. If they're scared, then no way of proceeding. So I will proceed. We will proceed from zero. Okay. So when the Purvapakshi told that Adhara has to be told in the positive language, what is the problem in describing Turiya in the positive language? Then Bhavan Shankaracharya told, it is not like the relationship between water and pot, where both are real and both have the same degree of reality, and one is touching the other one, and their samparka is what kind of samparka? What kind of samparka they have?
Adhara, adheya.
No, I know, but that samparka is called when Adhar is touching the adheya. What samparka is called?
Anyonya.
Yoga. It is called
Yoga.
Samyoga. Samyoga means contact. They are contacting. Here, rope is not contacting the snake at all. They are contacting the water. So there we can tell pot in a positive language. But here, there is no connection between the rope and snake. We are telling two words, but there is no connection. That relation is a relationless relationship. That relation between the Adhara and Adheya is relationless relationship. It is a relation without any relationship. Like how we have to first make a relationship with somebody, then we'll tell us they are related to us. Like father and son. We are related with that. That this is the father, this is the son, or this is the son, this is the father. And who is creating whom? Son is creating the father. Father is creating the son. Both give validity to the other. In a relationship, both are responsible. One person cannot tell that I am related, and the other person tells no, I am not related. No, both should be related. Then the relationship develops. But here the relationship between Adhar and Adhe is not based upon a relationship, but it is based upon no relationship. But there is a relation. There is a relation, but without any relationship. Wherever the relation is created because by creating a relationship, there some give and take happens. In the worldly relationship, always give and take. Somebody has to do something for somebody else. Then only relationship will be there. By default, there is no relationship. It has to be developed with anybody. Like when I tell that, okay, he's my husband, she's my wife, he's my son, she's my daughter. Something to be done. Just by, like mother has to go through that pain of giving birth to the child. Then mother will tell you, no, he is my child. Dad has to bring all the things needed for the child. Then he will tell you, my child. Without doing those things, there will be no relationship at all. But the rope need not have to do anything for the snake. Snake need not do anything for the rope. They are related. You know what a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing. So it is a different, it's not Sanyoga relations like water. So you cannot tell that in a positive language. The Adhara cannot be explained in a positive language. Here the Adhara is the rope. Rope cannot be. Here the Surya cannot be told in a positive language. Surya has to be told in negative language. Then the Purvapakshi told, okay, whenever anything is, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling, whenever we are to describe something positive, it has to be captured by the mind only. Then only we can tell it in a positive language. And what can be captured by mind? What mind can describe in a positive language? Can somebody tell? Kanchanji?
Name and forms.
No, here we have read something else. Names and forms, that is true, but some other things, other factors. What is the thing that mind can explain describe in a positive language?
That can be perceived by senses.
That is true, but there are some other things we have read here. Jati, guna, kriya, sambandha. If something has jati, guna, kriya and sambandha, then only mind can explain in a positive language. Jati means belonging to a particular species. Dog, we can tell about it is a dog because it has these qualities. Okay, we can, it belongs to this category. There are so many kinds of dogs. Some dogs, they don't look like dogs. They look like fox. But no, it is a dog. There are some plants, then they don't know it belongs to that category. Why? Because it belongs to that jati. Jati. Guna. Guna is the like which is made of space, air, water, fire, and earth. Then we can describe. This body is made of all these 5 elements. These are the gunas of the body. Kriya. Kriya means some action, like when a cocoon, the butterfly comes out of the larva becomes the butterfly. Then that is a kriya, that is a process is there. So one can describe in a positive language. And sambandha, when something is related to somebody, like samyoga samparka, then also we can explain. But here, none of those. Turya is not a jati. Turya has no guna. Turya there is no action. Why there is no action, Prakashji? Turya, why there is no action? Vishwa there is action. Tejas there is action. Prajna there is action. But in Turya there is no action. Why there is no action?
Turya is Atma.
I know. Prakashji, why there is no action in Turya?
Mind is not.
Action you do for gaining something like that, it doesn't have to gain it.
No.
Lose or gain.
Action is possible when there are 2.
Okay.
Let us say there is one person, there is another person. One is calling oneself as dad, the other one we call it as a son. Then dad will do something for the son. If there are 2, like we work for our body because body is different from us. I am one entity and the body is another entity. Then I can do something for the body. Whenever there is a sense of duality, action comes there. If there is no duality, no action is possible. Like for example, can somebody give an example of if the same thing cannot do anything for itself? Can somebody give an example of like if there is only one?
And I cannot see itself.
Yeah, I cannot see itself. Somebody's eye can see our eyes, but we cannot see our eyes because it's not possible. Okay. So, jati, guna, kriya, sambandha is not there in the Turiya, so Turiya cannot be explained as Turiya, which is Adhara, cannot be explained in a positive language, just like like pot, it cannot be explained. Then, which has next Siddhanti Purvapakshi is telling, which is not Jati, Guna, Kriya, and that it has no provision, is provision. It has no provision at all. It has no utility, no Vyavahara. Then Bhagavan says, no. Then knowing the Turiya as the Atma, one has to know it as the Atma, as the self, not as Turiya, some other Turiya, as the self. What will happen? The samsara will come to an end. The suffering in the world will come to an end. So it is not nisprayojana. It is the most fundamental need. Other things may not be needed, but there is a need. This is a must. It doesn't matter which religion one belongs to, whether one is child or an adult, it doesn't matter. Everybody has to know who they are. Otherwise, they will suffer. They will suffer. So the cycle of birth and death cannot be, one cannot come out of the cycle of birth and death. You know, when the why the rebirth, why it is a problem? Crucify, why it is a problem? Rebirth, why it is a problem?
Because you have to go through Vasana forces you to take another birth. And
what is the problem? It will take birth. What is the problem? Suppose I am born, then die. Again, I will take birth. What is the problem? I'll come again to this world to enjoy the world more and more. So it is a good thing.
But it is not absolute love, it's all temporary and
but whatever now I'm enjoying in this world, okay? And then I die. Then again I will come to enjoy this world. Everybody supports all my brothers, they support, my sister supports, my parents support, my school teacher, I'm keeping the highest grade and getting jobs like left and right, depositing money, all cars, all the luxuries, then I died. Again, I will have the same thing. What is the problem? Raviji? Why rebirth is considered always, it is told, will be free from the cycle of birth and rebirth?
Yeah, I guess one can say there's no problem, but you have to go through this cycle over and over again.
What is the problem? I'll go. I'll be born. I will enjoy it more. Previously, where I have left, I will enjoy again. Suppose I stayed in that house, nice house I built. I stayed only 1 year. Then next again another year I will stay in that house, or in some other house in the world. The problem is there will be no growth. It's just like suppose a person learns mathematics and he is now doing PhD in mathematics and dies. Again, he has to learn 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. It's like a rocking chair. Like he is going forward, again coming backward. He is not going anywhere. It looks like there is a movement, but there is no movement at all. It is a fixed place. So the birth doesn't allow a person to, remains in the same grade all the time. Same grade all the time. There is no growth. There is no progress. It looks like it is a new birth. No, it is the same class I am. The same class I am. And I am to do the same thing. Learn that Baba Blacksy, twinkle, twinkle. Again I am to do. And all the time then go, it is just like playing that snake and ladder game.
Yeah.
And I'll go, and 100 is the last thing. And from 0 I went to 98. Then I put that, I don't know what is called.
fall back all the way back.
Then 99 again came. Again go to 98. Again come back. So I'm playing, no doubt. That I sat for 5 hours to play, and he's really doing well. But no, again he's back to the same the starting point. So the birth does that same thing.
Swamiji, the suffering is the problem now?
Misery.
Suffering, suppose there is no suffering, everything is there. I don't have any disease, My family members, they're very supportive, they're very loving, job is left and right, money is there.
Considering the characteristic of the body is not going to happen. Suffering is always, the body is designed that it will go through these 6 stages. So there's no way to say there's no suffering.
I have not gone.
Body has to go through some stages.
I have not gone to that stage. I have not gone to that old stage at all. Only in 16 years, death. I enjoyed everything, then died. And then again I'll be one. Then again I have to start from I have to cry, then I have to crawl, then I have to drink the milk, and then the 16, again die. But that means one is not going anywhere. One is not going anywhere.
But if somebody doesn't care about going anywhere, he should be happy.
Yes, that's why the devotees, particularly the ISKCON and all those things, they will tell, this gopis, the Uddhavji, that episode is very interesting episode. Uddhavji is who is Bhagavan Sri Krishna's best friend, and he will also look like Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He is so close to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He will look like Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He will walk like Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He will dress like Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He will be very like Lord Sri Krishna. They are very close friends. But he is a man of knowledge. He doesn't believe in devotion. He tells no, knowledge is the highest. There is nothing greater than the knowledge. But Bhagavan wanted to tell him, no, greater than knowledge is prema bhakti. In Narad Bhakti you have read, bhakti reva gariyasi. Prema and bhakti both are same. That love for the Lord, that is the highest. Okay? When you come to bhakti is the highest. When you come to jnana is the highest. When we read regarding Vishnu Purana, Vishnu is the highest. When we read Devi Purana, Devi is the highest. It is just like an advertisement kind of thing. But because all are same, so no problem. Then, and Bhavan tried to tell him, but he didn't understand. He didn't understand. Then one day Bhavan did a lila. It was, Uddhavji, I remember Vrindavan. I remember the gopis. I remember Yasodamaya. I remember Nanda Baba. I remember Radha. Like that, it's a big story. I'm just telling to come to the topic. And he was missing, and he was crying like a baby. Then Uddhavji was in the next room. He came running and he held Lord Sri Krishna to his heart and consoled him. And then he became normal. And Lord Sri Krishna told her, Uddhava, I remember Vrindavan so much. And I gave hard time to everybody, to Yasodamaya, to the gopis, to everybody. I gave very hard time. But they loved me so much. And they are always remembering me, and they are going through a lot of sadness. Then Uddhavji told her, you can explain them in the jnana, you can give them the jnana. Then, now Uddhavji told, no, they have these gopis and all, they are illiterate. And they don't know, they don't have any jnana. You should tell them the jnana. If they have not gone to the Gurukula or anything. Then Lord Sri Krishna told, I only went to Gurukula only for 1 year. In 1 year, how much knowledge one will get? Like grade 1, if somebody studies, that person is not going to have the education for the entire life. I'm not there. Also that knowledge. No, you are the embodiment of knowledge. Knowledge has started from you. You don't have to go to any Gurukula or anything. Not Naraji, Uddhavji. Then you please go and tell to this gopis and to Yasodamaya and to Nanda. You are the fit person. Because Lord Sri Krishna wanted him to learn that bhakti is the supreme. So that's why he was going. Then Lord Sri Krishna said, no. Then he removed his crown. Then he gave his the flute. Then he gave his Pita Vastra to Uddhavji. Then he told him, you go. I don't know why there's no need of wearing this crown and all those things. Then Uddhav told her, do you know, Lord Sri Krishna, Uddhavji, if you go without this dress and this crown, nobody will look towards you. Forget they will talk to you. They will not talk. You have to wear this dress and go. Then they will think that Krishna has come. Then they will talk to you. Otherwise, they will not talk. What are the gopis? Now, you know, these gopis, they are, Uddhavji didn't count them at all because they have known, there is no idea regarding self-knowledge in them. Only Bhakti, 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 Krishna, 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 they tell. So Uddhavji, they're dumb. Then what he did, Lord Sri Krishna, so he told Uddhavji to explain to them in the language of knowledge. Then his gopis, they will come to Lord Sri Krishna's home. Gopis. Why the Krishna will every day he will steal butter or milk or the yogurt from their house, and then he will make a hole in those pots. So all the pots were made holes by this Krishna. Everybody's home. And he will eat every day, he will steal. And which house will be stolen tomorrow, it is planned today. And their children of that house will also be in that gang. Sri Krishna has a big gang. And which gang will go where, it is very well documented. That is, it goes in a very precise way. Then the every day he will steal. Then one day, Yasodhama told Krishna, you know, Kanha, you are stealing from these gopis. They are poor and they are illiterate. They have not studied. They cannot go for job or anything. They are, every day they will milk the cows and they will make the yogurt and they will get the butter and they will sell. How much money they will get? And in that days, rice they will buy, dal they will buy, vegetable they will buy, and they will eat. And you are stealing that also, and you are breaking their matkas. And you know, they are starving. They are poor people. You have to understand. Then Lord Sri Krishna telling Uddhav, from that day when mother told like that, I didn't go to steal from any gopis home. I didn't go. I stopped going. Because that's really true. I don't want them to starve. Then what happened? The next day, all the gopis came in like truckload of gopis. They came and they landed in front of our home. They came like Inkilab Jindabad, like that. They came in procession and they knocked the door. And when Yasodhama opened the door, you know, all the gopis are telling Yasoda, what do you think? What do you think? Krishna is only your son? We have nothing to do with him. Let him come and break our pots. Let him eat all the butter and yogurt. But when he comes, that day we feel being alive. When you don't see him, we feel lifeless. The day he comes, the day he doesn't come, nobody cooks in Vrindavan. We don't cook that day. And when we see him, we are not poor. We are the Amir of the Amirs. We are the richest person. Don't stop that one. And if you are to buy, then Uddhavji, to choose his gopis, Uddhavji told her, do you know, Sri Krishna is not, why you are crying for Sri Krishna? Krishna is not the son of somebody. He is the Lord of the entire universe. He is the self of all beings. And by knowing him, one will go to the heaven. Then the gopis told her, what are you telling? Go to heaven? You know, if we are to be with Lord Sri Krishna and stay in the hell, we are ready to go to hell. We are not aspiring for heaven. And again, to the mind only we can give to Brahman, isn't it? The mind will meditate and it has to be resolved in Brahman. If there are two minds, yes, one mind will give to Brahman, one mind will give to Krishna. But only have one mind, then that is given to Lord Sri Krishna. we are not afraid of birth and rebirth. That's why in ISKCON, if you tell this thing, they don't like at all. This mukti means we merge with Brahman, and no, but they don't like that one. They will always tell, let me be born again and again. But my mind should be always at the feet of the Lord. And that is the same thing. It is just the language is changed. And when we are with God, there it is told merge with God. Here it is told we will be always with God. Same thing. Okay, it is not two different things. It's just a language change. So it is not nisprayojana. It has a prayojana. The prayojana is that there will be sansara atantika dukkha nibriti. Sansara chakra, the cycle of birth and death will come to an end. Okay, so it is not nisprayojana. Then the Purva Pakshi told, then in that case, why it is why it is told as the fourth? There is no need of telling it as a fourth. Why it is told that it possesses of 4 quarters, and this is the 4th quarter. Turiya is the 4th quarter. What is the need of telling that? If you told only Turiya is there, that's all. There is no need of telling. First one is the Vishwa, second one is Tejas, and then this is the 4th one. There is no need of telling that. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya told no, and then negate. Then it is told 4th. Then negate all the 3. That is not there's no need, because always you know that the 4th is always different from the 3. 4th is different from 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. What's the need? No. Here the 4th is not like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 3rd and 4th. This 4th is 1st, 4th is 2nd, 4th is 3rd. That way it is 4th. So the pramana, the scripture is needed to remove what? The scripture is removing what? Shiv Kumar ji?
Dukkha nivriti. Dukkha nivriti. Ajnana is ignorance.
Yes, it only removes the ignorance. It cannot create the reality. Scripture only removes the ajnana. It's just like a flashlight only removes the darkness around that object. It cannot create that object. Object is there, very much there. If there is a table and that room is filled with darkness, then you take a flashlight. What is removed is what the flashlight does. It only removes the darkness. It doesn't create a table. So that's why the means of knowledge of scriptures or guru, they don't create Brahman. If the darkness regarding the table is removed, then through our eyes, if the eyes are there, it's not blind, then immediately we'll see the table. Because the table, there's no time. It is not that now darkness is gone, then you have to do something to see the table. No. The removal of darkness is seeing the table. No need of any other pramana. There's no need of any other means to know the table. The perception of the table is instant when the darkness is removed. In the same way, the moment the falsity is denied, then the Turiya is revealed. Scripture does only denying removing the falsity. It doesn't create the reality. Reality cannot be created. If it is created, it will be destroyed. Scriptures don't create. Gurus don't create God. Gurus, they remove the ignorance regarding God, regarding the self. So when it is told the scriptures only they when it is told that the Turiya is the fourth one, at that time, it is only indicating that there is something other than the first, second, and third. But when it is negating, at that time, what fourth is, that is known. What fourth truly is, that is known. For example, when we tell that the rope is different than the snake, it is indicating the rope. Rope is different than the snake means rope is indicated. But I do not know what rope is now. Only one thing, it is different than the snake. Then once the snake is removed, how the snake is removed, Raviji?
By the knowledge of by knowledge that the snake is unreal.
But how? What is the means of knowledge?
Scripture or good.
No, I don't think that anybody takes the Bhagavad Gita to remove the snake.
Well, in practical, a light.
Light. Yes, that's the means. That's the pramana. Pramana. That is it. So we take the once you put the light, then you will see that no snake. When you take the no snake, then the knowledge of the rope happens. For that we don't need any another light. Now I remove the snake, but let me bring another light to know that it is the rope. No, that doesn't need any pramana. Pramanantaram, sadhanantaram, bhanamrutyam. It is not desired. It's not desired. But suppose somebody is telling, then the Purvaka says, no, something else is needed. Because there are two things. One thing is taken care by one thing. Then the other thing also, we need the help of something else to know that. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya told, no. If in the matter of, let us say, we are splitting a wood, then we bring the spade, then we hit it. When we hit, then the connection between the two parts is taken away. Then that is the splitting the wood. So now I don't create those two parts. Automatically two parts are created. Isn't it? When we hit the piece of wood in the with the spade, the spade is doing, it is just removing the connection between these two parts of wood. It is not creating two parts of wood. It just removes the connection. That's all. That spade can do that. That is called splitting. It's a matter of splitting a wood. If somebody is telling, no, now the spade has split, but something else to be done to create two parts, that is laughable. Then he is telling it is laughable. Okay. Up to that we have finished. Now, yada punar ghatatamasa viveka karane pravrittam pramanam anupadit sida tamaha nibruti phala avasanam yada punar again ghatatamasa means tamasa means darkness. The darkness which is covering the ghata, the pot. Viveka karane means when we are separating. Viveka means here it is separation. When we are removal. When we are removing the darkness of the darkness which is covering the pot, prabhutam means proceed. When we are proceeding to remove. And what is the pramana at that time? What is the pramana that removes the darkness from the pot? What is the pramana? What is the means?
Flashlight.
Flashlight. Okay, that is the pramana there. But in here, to remove the darkness regarding ourselves, what is the pramana? Scripture is the pramana.
Scripture.
Is the pramana. Okay.
Guru
So pramana means here the light. Light is when light goes on to remove the darkness which is covering the entire pot, which is separating pot from the darkness it is covered with.
Yes.
Anupadit sita. And why this darkness has to be removed? Because it is anupadisita. Anupadisita means it is unwanted. That's why we're removing. It is not needed. The darkness is not needed. I am interested only in the pot. So I want to remove the unwanted portion. Sita, tamasa, nibruti, phalavasanam. Nibruti means removal. Phalavasanam means they are retained. That means the light has done its work. After that, there is no need of
Any other light.
No, there is no need of that light too. There is no need of that. Means the light has fulfilled its
job.
That is called nibruti phala avasanam. Nibruti phala avasanam. Nibruti means removing, and phala avasanam, that means it is completed. Avasanam is end. It completed its job.
So at that time, you don't need Shastra also, or Veda, you don't need that. Praman is not needed anymore. Shastra.
No, here we are talking of the darkness and the pot.
Yeah, okay.
That's not pot. So that's a light we are telling. But when it comes to Surya, then we will talk of the scripture. Isn't it? Yes. So now, in the same way, scripture, the flashlight is compared to what in case of Surya?
Scripture.
Scripture, yes. So scripture is like flashlight. And once it removes the ignorance regarding the self, then the scripture is
not needed.
Shastra bhavati. Veda aveda bhavati. There's no need. There's no need of scripture.
No mantra, no titro, no veda, no yagna.
Yes. Everything, then there's no need of scripture. That means only in Hinduism, like in other religions, scripture is considered as like God. And if you tell something regarding scripture, they will kill. They will not hesitate to kill, like what happens in Pakistan and all those countries. If you tell something regarding Quran, only one word you will tell, they will kill. It doesn't matter who that person is. But here our scripture is telling that Veda Aveda. The Veda itself tells that Veda Aveda. That doesn't mean that now disrespect the scripture, now it has done, it has no use. No, it not makes sense. It will be useful to others. Share that knowledge with others. It should not be taken in a negative way. Phalavasanam. Siddhi means to split. In the act of Siddhi means in the act of splitting the wood. Siddhi Iva means like the splitting the wood. Siddhi Iva Chedya Abhayava Sambandha Viveka Karani. Chedya means which has to be in the act of splitting that which is to be split. That means the wood has to be split. Sambandha Viveka Karani. When the sambandha is removed, just like what we told just now, that same thing is repeated here. That when the sambandha is removed between the two pieces of wood in that log, pravrutta, when that action is over, tad abhayava dvaidhi bhava phala avasana. That means dvaidhi bhava. Dvaidhi bhava means when the two parts, dvaidhi bhava phala avasana, then it has done its job. Then the result of splitting is over. Tatha na antariyakam. Antariyakam means antara means difference, gap. Now there is no gap between splitting and making the two pieces of wood. There is no time gap. When you split, at that time only there are two parts. Antariyakam. Ghata Vijnanam na tat pramaphalam. Ghata Vijnana. In the Ghata Vijnana, he is giving the example of darkness and the pot and splitting the wood. Same thing he is telling, that he's trying to give him, by giving these two examples, he's trying to explain that if the falsity is removed, the reality reveals itself. One may not have to do anything. That he is trying to emphasize. Tata na antariyakam ghata vijnanam na tat pramana phalam. Na tat pramana phalam. That means there is no other, there is no other need of any pramana. There is no need of any other pramana. That pramana has achieved its result in showing the object, or in revealing the object. It has done its job. Then nacha tad api atmani adhyaropita antःप्रज्ञत्वादि विवेककरणे प्रवृत्तस्य प्रतिषेध विज्ञान प्रमाणस्य अनुपादित अनुपादित अंतःप्रज्ञत्व आदिनि वृत्ति व्यतिरेकेण तुरीय व्यापारो उपपत्तिः. That means he is trying to tell, of course we will see this one next time, like how people, like when it comes to the self-knowledge, people tell, I read all the scriptures, I went to the Guru gave jnana, but now I am to do something. Like how it is. I read the Upanishad, you can hear in the study group that we read the Upanishad, but we have to do something now. It is not doing something. If you have read the Upanishad, that means it is the ultimate. If it is, that means the knowledge has not taken place. Reading the book is not knowledge. So that he is telling. That's why when you are reading the Upanishad, it is not like reading for like reading mathematics and chemistry. No. It is the moment we read, that moment it removes the ignorance. Like when you bring the flashlight removes the ignorance. When the flashlight is on. It's not that today I'll make the flashlight on, tomorrow ignorance will be removed. Now, Swamiji, it will take a long time for the ignorance to be removed. That means I didn't understand the swarup of the ignorance. That's why I'm telling this way. That we'll see that for that reason, the self-knowledge, like, oh, it is so difficult. Because we think that something to be done. That's why it appears to be difficult. No, it is not. The idea of doing and the doer both have to be removed. In path of knowledge, the doership has to be removed. Okay, the I am to do something, if that is coming after reading the scripture, that means we made it like an egoistic activity. Like how the ego wants to do something, it is like that, it is now telling to do something. Then that is not really the purpose of reading the scripture or being devoted to a Guru. No. It is, it is very subtle. That is nothing. So they tell, Sravana Matra ke Jnana. The moment you listen, knowledge takes place. And if the statements are just like bluff or something, no, it has got deep meaning. Deep meaning. Now I read Upanishad every day, I hear and I listen, then what shall I do? That question doesn't arise. That question doesn't arise. We'll see next time.
So when ignorance is removed, self reveals without any effort.
Self reveals
without effort.
Without effort means for the self there is nothing else.
Nothing to be done.
No, there is nothing other than, from the standpoint of the self alone is, there is nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah.
If there is something else, then you have to do something. For example, I am doing job. Doing job is not sufficient. If somebody else is there, then I am to bring food for that person, I am to do the laundry for that person, because somebody else is there. If nobody else, then nothing to be done. Okay, we'll see that next time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.